Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Hope everybody's doing fine. I hope you're finding your way around life without it costing you an arm and a leg these days. I know for a fact that gas is still going up. I also know for a fact that food is still going up. I also know of things that are going out of business. I just heard that Best Buy that it's going out of business. I don't know if that's all across the country or if that's just in my local area. I also know that these things that are going on are still going on for whatever the reason may be. I don't know why. Ain't sure why. But folks, I'm going to say again, we're going to talk about this again. And why am I going to talk about it? Because I don't have one race in me. I don't know no one in this country that has one race in their body. Over the years and over the centuries, everyone is mixed with something or someone or somehow. Some people have a little bit or a lot of one thing, or they got multitudes of a whole bunch of different things and people. Like me, for instance, I have several. I've gotten German, a little bit of Italian, Irish, and a lot of Indian. Now, what part of me that I don't have, I don't know. When I was born, the reason why I know I most likely got a lot of German in me is because I was born with blonde hair. And I mean, when I say blonde hair, it was blonde. It was so blonde it looked white. It was so blonde. All my children were born with blonde hair. They are now brown-headed like me. But I'm just saying, every family or bloodline that is out there is mixed. Now, you can say that your bloodline is immediate to your family. So instead of us saying that we're not brothers and sisters, we can say we're cousins and we're related. And there is no race, because there really ain't. There's no one race anymore. There's hundreds of different races. Hundreds and thousands and millions of races, because no one is a thoroughbred anymore. The only thing that has a closer bloodline than anyone else in the world is the British family and people that run for office. And the reason why that is because they elect or have elected their family members. It could be years of familyness that's downgraded to different things, but they keep their bloodline as pure as they possibly can. Like Obama, he is actually related to the British family, along with Bush and Obama. I mean, Bush and Daddy Bush and several other people that are related. Now, my point of all of this is folks, they're part of the elite, though. You're not. So your bloodline don't count. Your bloodline ain't never going to matter. Why? Because your bloodline don't matter. You're not part of that bloodline. Just because you think that a certain part of the race is living higher on the hog than you, doesn't mean jack. That's part of the elite, most likely. It ain't no different. There is no race out here that's normal, everyday people that's ever going to have a chance in hell of being anything other than regular people. They don't make enough money to ever account to anything. And the people that think that they're making good money these days, every day, it's like a show that I watched the other day. It's called Time. It's where these people had numbers on their forearm right here. And it ain't a movie that I just watched. It's the second time I've watched it. But these people could live till they were 25 years old. They had enough time to live 25 years. Okay? But the day they turned 25, if they couldn't make enough money by the time they were 25, they would die. No joke. But there was other people like the elite, the people that started that. They were living for hundreds and hundreds of years. They could live forever because they were mega rich. They could buy them a New Year's life, a New Year life, because they always had 100 years of life on their clock. And all these other people only had 25, enough to live 25 years. And if they lived till they were 50, they worked real hard to get it. And it's like this. If they had a slump period for 6 or 8 months and they didn't make enough money, guess what happened to them? Even though they didn't age, which was a good thing, even though when they were 25 years old, they still looked 25 years old. They didn't look no older, but they would still die. Even though they were 50 and looked 25, they would die. Nothing wrong with them. They would just die. It was something that they did to them to cause them not to age, not to get older. But what they're doing with these new roll-up-your-sleevers, which the goat man, he's actually just stated that it looks like they're going to have not 2, but a 3rd roll-up-your-sleever. Damn. So they're changing people's living, the way they live, the way they walk, the way they talk. And he also said that the what is it, RMDNA or RM, what, however you say it, I can't remember. I got him saying that you change the code, literally, you change the code and it makes it change its appearance to be what they want it to be. He literally said it. You don't believe me? You can go back and watch it, because it's going to be on my live stream. It played for a week. It's going to play some more. That's no joke. That's a fact. That's real. That really happened. It's really going to happen. It is terrible that we're living in a time to where everything that we do these days looks as if we're living in a matrix. And what do I mean by that? We're living in a matrix. No doubt, no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's a fact. We really are. Life is starting to really be screwy. I also want to bring up to y'all on the fact that I seen this morning that they're talking about CERN again. And I went and looked and checked. I don't see that they're in total operation, but I do know that they have gotten things turned back on some of the charts now. And I do know that they have talked about things that they are finding, and they're showing things where they collide the particles. Now, when those particles collide, y'all have all seen it. All these little sparks that they show come off. Now, we started talking about these particles when they spread off were going through the machine and coming out the other side. Remember we talked about that a long time ago? Well, guess what? They were just showing this same thing, and these particles were still coming out of that part of the machine. Now, the last time that things really got out of hand and screwed up, and people was real worried about their economy, people losing their morals and facts, and things in life were really getting weird and wild, that was when CERN was in full active mode. And we're at that point again, to where it's in full active mode, and yet here we go again. Okay, now they're not in full active mode right now, but I do believe, and this is my own opinion, I do believe that most of the time that they're running some of their experiments, even though we think that they're still turned off, they're not. They're running the machine, and the reason why they're running the machine is because that way is because they're still testing. That's the reason why this person was talking about the new things that they were finding that I saw this morning, and they were talking about this being right now new stuff. So maybe they've been running this thing again, and maybe that's what's screwing up our way of life and the way we think and the way we see things right now. I do know that I feel something that ain't right, and I know that a lot of y'all have felt it too. Y'all actually made statements to the fact that you can feel it yourself, something just ain't right, with comments that y'all said, things that y'all done and heard, and lots of other people's, not only me saying it, there's a lot of people saying there's something just ain't right. Well, I believe that there's something just ain't right. What that may be, I'm not a total 100% convinced of what it is, but I do know that CERN was being talked about this morning, and I went to the page that they were talking about, and that particular page showed me that they were talking about CERNs for several months now. Okay, they were literally talking about this for months on this particular channel. There's 3 of them that it recommends, but the one had been being talked about a lot. So you'll have to go there yourself to find out what I'm talking about. Or maybe you've seen it, I don't know, but if you ain't, and it ain't no big deal. I mean, there ain't nothing really happened per se, other than what this person was talking about. But it's enough to let me know that they're still in operation with some things, and they're still operating some things. Now, what those some things are, I don't know. But they're definitely talking about them. You understand what I mean? They're definitely talking about some things. What those some things are, I can't give you 100%. But I do know that all these things that they've been talking about, all these things that are happening to us, It's not just one thing. We're getting hit with bombardments of things. Oh yeah, and the most important thing that I've seen is that they were talking about none other, no joke, they were talking about helping with the roll up your sleever. Not actually the sleever itself, but scientifics behind it. So maybe there's a connection that some of you may need to look into. Some of you that can get away with more information outward than I can. I don't want to get into too much because they're going to slap my channel around a little bit, and I don't need them to slap it, if that makes any sense to anybody. They done slap it around so much now, it's kind of hard for me to do anything. I don't have no big following anymore. I may have some subscribers, but most of them are just the ones that subscribe because they like your content, but they don't. A channel needs at least 1,000 people to be personal friends with the channel to help it. And I don't think my channel has that. I mean, not to say that I don't have more than that many in friends, and a lot of them don't know that they're unsubscribed, this, that, and another, but what I'm saying is I need probably 1,000 people, 500 people to be devoted to the channel to help it grow, or not necessarily to grow, but to push the information. It's because I can't. I just can't do but just so much. So that's one big issue that I see happening right now. I don't know what CERN has to do with it. I know that it's been shut down. It's been shut down for a couple of years now, but I think it's coming back soon now. And I also think that they've been using it since I think they got the machine back in physical repair of what they took down and fixed and redesigned or remade or whatever the case may be. And I think that they're working it again and testing it. And I don't know to what extent. They're never going to let us know when they're going to use it until they've done it, and they're starting to use it in a full implemented way. Like they've done a test and it's super great. The only way they can tell you about it is after it's done. Then they turn the machine on after that, and then they find out other things, or they use it for other things after that one experiment. But they got to get that one experiment done first. But I am afraid that they're going to do that one experiment one time too many, and guess what's going to happen? I believe that they're going to go play God one time too many. And not anybody's particular God. I'm talking about a supreme being God. To the fact of where it doesn't matter anymore. In other words, it gets pushed back. Look, people, race is fake. Racism is fake. It's a made-up, make-believe, propaganda, bullshit story. The only way that race exists is for people not to know who they are and how many races they actually have in them. Once you realize, no matter what color your skin is or who you might be, you may be just as much of one race as that person that may have a different colored skin as you. You may have just as much in yourself as they do of themselves. The race may be the same, You just might not know it. Just because someone's skin is different or their hair is different doesn't really mean anything. Because see, when my hair is fairly straight now because it's real thin, but when I was younger, and I mean younger, even though I'm an Indian, my hair was real thick. And when I say thick, I mean that when I would let my hair grow longer than what it is right now, it was so curly that you couldn't comb it. It was curly. Over the last, ever since I've been taking diabetic medicine, it's gotten thin and gotten straight for whatever reason. I mean, I would have paid big money to have my hair straight when I was younger, because I hated curly hair. Now it's straight and I don't like that either, but it doesn't matter. Point of it is this. Don't matter who, what, when, or where your parents were, what color they were, what race they were. Doesn't matter. You got a mother and a father, and you love them. And whether they were different races or not, it didn't matter. My ex-wife, I guess you could call she's not my ex-wife no more. She's not here anymore. She passed away. But she was full-blooded, supposedly, full-blooded Italian. She had dark skin, long brown hair, with a little red in it. Well, Italians don't really have red hair, they have dark brown hair. But she had red in hers, which is okay, doesn't matter. So she had more than just Italian, even though her mother's father and mother come from Italy. Okay? They wasn't full-blooded Italian. Her grandfather was very white-skinned and white-headed as he could be. He was. But he was Italian. And not her grandfather now, we're talking about her father. Her father was Italian, and her mother was Italian. But her grandparents was Italian, and her grandfather was light-skinned, and he was white-headed. I'm sure he wasn't white-headed when he was a kid, but when I met him, he was white-headed. And he just got whiter until he passed away. But he was real white-headed when I met him. It doesn't matter. You know people that have gotten gray-headed at the age of 20 years old. Some of them even younger. 17, 18 years old, they start turning white. They had brown and started turning white. Or maybe they were blonde. Or light-colored brown hair. But the more years went by, the lighter their hair got, and they ended up being white-headed. At 25 years old, they were completely white-headed. Snow white hair. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make them a different race. It just means they have a different bloodline in them than anybody else. Doesn't mean anything racial. You understand? They could have been white-headed and had completely dark skin, too. There's been black people do the same thing. Get gray hair at a young age. So, all you people that are talking about race and going around and hurting people and beating people up because of the color of their skin, you're wrong. You're highly wrong. Could be someone that's probably within 4 or 5 years or 4 or 5 generations of being closely related to you, and you just don't even know it. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. Could be a cousin or a father's offspring that you didn't know about, and the father didn't either. Maybe it's your brother or cousin or sister, nephew, doesn't matter. But you're being violent and mean to those people. See, I know that could happen because I have. Sorry about that. It just shut off in the middle of me talking. Apologize, but evidently, even though the sun's not shining that bright in here right at the moment, it was shining bright enough that it made my phone get hot and shut off. Took a minute for me to warm it up or cool it back off, but anyway. Look, folks, our time in life, if we want to be free and want to have things in life and not have to worry about all this craziness, is to quit letting the masses of people control us. And quit letting them have the upper hand by telling us that we need to roll up your sleeve that is can be controlled by programming a certain device, the file, or controlling the DNA in it. We don't want that. We don't need it. We can't have it. We don't need it. This particular thing that's been going on is not for us. Hadn't been for us and ain't gonna be for us. We need not worry about it no more. No more. They're destroying our way of life in every aspect that they possibly can. They are convincing people that if they don't get this, then they're going to go to lunch and not come back. They're going to go out to lunch and they just ain't coming back if they don't. Well, this same scenario is like this. If you do roll up your sleeve, you might go out to lunch and you may come back a total, complete zombie, and you don't have a thought of your own that is original anymore. Do you understand? I hope you understand, because I've already noticed that there are some people that have changed their mind. And they're completely unable to talk to about it at all. They didn't used to be that way, but right now they're that way. And when it first come out, everybody believed, same way that you did, that this is all BS. Bullshit is it. Okay? But how many of you known now to change their mind and completely flip and don't want to hear it no more and tell you you are retarded and crazy? How many? I know you know some. I know you know some. So, between racism, your economy being destroyed, and all of the craziness that's been going on about your GUMs, all of that stuff is all back in. Listen to me now. All of those things that wasn't happening about your GUMs, it's all back in the news, and all sorts of those things are being talked about in mega leaps and bounds right now. Have y'all noticed that? I know you have. All of you noticed. All of you know. Except for the ones of you that work a lot and you're not around things to know, or you just don't pay it no attention. I understand. But you're going to have to start paying attention to it, or you're not going to be free. And I don't know that we can stop it anymore. I don't know that we can stop it and us not be complete zombies within the next 5 years. With the things that are going right now in the next 5 years, if we even got 5, I say within the next 5 years, at this rate and the way things are going right now, they will be hundreds and thousands of people that are completely in the dark. Meaning they don't know where, what, when, or how they're moving or going. That's no joke. It's entirely up to y'all. Entirely up to you what you want to do, how you want to be. I need your support by helping me. Sorry that the angle of this changed. It's because I had to get it out of the sun. It's getting hot. Folks, I need y'all support to make sure that these videos get seen. It's up to you. I can't do it without your help. People won't see it. The last one that I done, the last two, one's got almost 1,200 views, and the one before it's got 13. Hopefully this one will get 13, 14. It would be nice if one of them would get 50 to 100,000. Why? They're well worth watching. You know they are. Especially about the DNA and the race of you, who you are and what you are, what your DNA may say and what it may not say. Look, if you don't believe what I just told you, do a family history lookup. See where you came from. Not just the one thing that's in there, where all the other ones are too, because it'll tell you where all your bloodlines come from. So I'm going to even tell you more than you want to know. And that's a fact. So with that, from my cold dead hands, and I damn well mean it, this is why I say this. Abolish corporate greed. And your government is corporate. Your Facebook, Twitter, Google, you name it. They're all corporate. And how many of them are telling you what, when, where, and how, and what you can say and what you can't say, and where you're going and how you're going and why you ain't going there? You tell me. Leave it in the comment below. Leave it in the chat room next to the premiere. I don't care. Leave it in the video somewhere. You want it to show up, do it underneath the video. Let people know you're here. Express your opinion. So with that, again, from my cold dead hands, and I damn well mean it, abolish corporate greed. That's no joke. We got to do that or lose. I've been saying it since 2009. And no one believed me then. And now people are talking about it, but they still ain't got no fire under their you-know-what. Much love to y'all. Y'all have a good afternoon, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share, subscribe to my YouTube. Make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe to my Twitch channel. Much love. Y'all have a good day now. You hear?